Have you ever noticed that some people, especially older adults, have a specific scent? It's something subtle, not quite body odor and not perfume, but rather a light, persistent undertone that may escape one's own perception but be noticeable to others. This delicate topic, rarely discussed openly, is actually a common phenomenon among older people, and, contrary to popular belief, the reason is not poor hygiene. Let's explore what causes this characteristic odor, and, more importantly, how to combat it with simple and effective methods without resorting to expensive perfumes or harsh deodorants. It is important to emphasize immediately that this odor, often associated with old age, is not a result of infrequent bathing or slovenliness. The misconception that this is the case can lead to unfounded reproaches against older people, with advice to bathe more often or use more perfume. However, this approach not only does not solve the problem, but can also exacerbate it. The real culprit behind this phenomenon, as scientific studies show, is a substance called nonenal. This organic chemical compound is formed during the oxidation of fatty acids on the skin. With age, especially after 40, this process becomes more intense, leading to an increase in the concentration of nonenal, and, as a result, the appearance of a characteristic odor. Nonenal, a chemical compound known for its distinctive aroma, which is often described as a combination of grassy, waxy, and even slightly musty notes, attracts attention with its persistence. This odor, difficult to remove with ordinary soap, raises the question, why does nonenal become more noticeable with age? There are three key factors explaining this trend. First, the skin itself undergoes changes. In youth, the skin actively produces oils that are easily removed during hygiene procedures. However, over time, the skin loses its former ability to produce oils, becoming drier. As a result, oxidized fatty acids, which are the source of nonenal, are difficult to remove. Second, perspiration decreases. At first glance, a decrease in sweat production should lead to a decrease in odor, but in reality, sweat performs an important function of removing toxins from the body. When perspiration is reduced, toxins can accumulate on the surface of the skin, contributing to an increase in odor. Third, one cannot ignore the decrease in saliva. At first glance, the connection between saliva and body odor is not obvious, but saliva plays an important role in maintaining oral hygiene, removing odor-causing bacteria. With age, the salivary glands function less efficiently, leading to dry mouth and creating a favorable environment for the growth of bacteria that cause bad breath. Imagine the skin as a complex filter that protects the body from external influences. In youth, this filter works perfectly, filtering out everything unnecessary. However, over time it wears out, its efficiency decreases, and some of the contaminants remain on the surface of the skin. Understanding this reason opens the way to an effective solution to the problem. There is a simple but effective bathing method called the Triple S cleanse. The first S stands for skin folds. Have you noticed that unpleasant body odor is most often concentrated in the folds of the skin, on the neck, in the armpits, under the breasts in women, in the groin, behind the knees, on the bends of the elbows? This is because these areas create a moist and airless environment favorable for the growth of bacteria and the accumulation of nonenal, the substance responsible for the unpleasant odor. Therefore, when bathing, it is necessary to thoroughly clean these areas, but do it gently, avoiding excessive friction so as not to damage the delicate skin. The second S refers to the scalp. Hair, especially at the roots, has the ability to retain odors. This is about proper hair washing. Many people, especially men, limit themselves to a quick rinse or light scratching, which is not enough to remove sweat, excess sebum, and nonenal that accumulate on the scalp and hair. When washing your hair, you need to gently massage the skin with your fingertips in circular motions, ensuring deep cleansing. The third S stands for sweaty spots. Feet, especially between the toes, and palms are areas where a large number of sweat glands are concentrated. Feet, enclosed in shoes during the day, are particularly prone to unpleasant odors. Therefore, when bathing, it is necessary to thoroughly wash the spaces between the toes and palms. Consider a few elementary, but at the same time significant, recommendations regarding showering, which can have a significant impact on the condition of the skin. First of all, one should remember about delicacy as a key factor. Over time, the skin becomes more vulnerable, so it is necessary to avoid using harsh soaps and shower gels that contain strong detergents or intense fragrances. Such products can strip the skin of its natural oils, leading to dryness, irritation, and even increased body odor. As an alternative, it is advisable to prefer mild, fragrance-free products or choose those with a light, natural scent. Secondly, it is important to pay attention to the water temperature. Although a hot shower can be enjoyable, it is not the best option for the skin. High water temperatures can deplete the skin's protective oils, making it dry and susceptible to external influences. Warm water, on the other hand, has a gentler effect. Thirdly, it is necessary to thoroughly rinse off any remaining soap from the skin's surface. Any lingering traces of detergents can cause irritation. Fourthly, when drying off, gently pat the skin with a soft towel, avoiding vigorous rubbing. Rubbing motions can damage delicate skin. Special attention should be paid to drying skin folds and the spaces between the toes to prevent the development of fungal infections. Finally, to complete the procedure, it is recommended to moisturize the skin immediately after showering, while it is still slightly damp. This technique helps to retain moisture and maintain the skin's softness and health. Of course, hygienic procedures play an important role, but a comprehensive approach, including adjusting daily habits, is needed to neutralize age-related odor. First of all, it is necessary to maintain an optimal water balance in the body. Water is a powerful natural detoxifier, promoting the elimination of waste products and toxins through the urinary system and sweat glands, which in turn leads to a reduction in unpleasant body odor. The best option is to drink warm water, especially a glass of warm water on an empty stomach after waking up. It is recommended to adhere to a specific fluid intake schedule, for example, a glass of water after waking up, before lunch, after lunch, around 3 p.m., before dinner, and before bed. It is important to remember moderation and avoid excessive fluid intake before bed to avoid waking up at night. It should be noted that tea, coffee, and carbonated drinks do not have the properties of water, as they can have a dehydrating effect on the body. Secondly, it is recommended to sunbathe. Moderate exposure to sunlight in the morning or evening helps to destroy bacteria that cause unpleasant odors on the skin. It is important to be careful and not expose the skin to prolonged sunlight, and to use sunscreen. Daily 10 to 15-minute sunbaths provide tangible benefits. Thirdly, diet plays an important role in combating body odor. It is recommended to increase the consumption of fruits and vegetables rich in antioxidants. Foods such as juicy tomatoes, fragrant apples, ripe strawberries, and a variety of leafy green vegetables help the body effectively fight oxidative processes, thereby minimizing the formation of non-enal, a substance that is often the cause of unpleasant odor. It is noteworthy that garlic, despite its pungent odor, has a deodorizing effect after digestion. The fiber contained in fruits and vegetables also helps to maintain a healthy intestinal microflora, which in turn has a positive effect on reducing body odor. Fourthly, special attention must be paid to oral hygiene. Regular brushing of teeth after each meal should be mandatory, as well as daily use of dental floss and a tongue scraper. The tongue is a favorable environment for the growth of bacteria that cause bad breath. To freshen breath, you can use sugar-free chewing gum or suck on a slice of lemon. Finally, it should be emphasized that even with compliance with all the rules of personal hygiene, body odor may persist if clothing and bedding are not kept clean. Clothing, especially underwear, should be changed and washed daily. Sweat, dead skin cells, and non-enal can accumulate on the fabric, creating a favorable environment for the growth of bacteria and the appearance of unpleasant odor. Preference should be given to cotton underwear, as this material has better absorbency and breathability compared to synthetic fabrics. Drying clothes in the sun also has an antibacterial effect. Bed linen, including sheets, pillowcases, blankets, and bedspreads, should be washed regularly at least once a week. Special attention should be paid to pillowcases, as they are in direct contact with facial skin and hair, where sebum and dead cells accumulate. It is recommended to change pillowcases 2 to 3 times a week. Old pillows and blankets should also be replaced periodically to avoid the accumulation of bacteria and dust mites. In conclusion, do not neglect regular airing of the dwelling. The scent of the human body, regardless of its intensity, tends to concentrate in an enclosed space, especially in the absence of air circulation. It is recommended to open windows and doors twice a day in the morning and evening hours for 10 to 15 minutes, ensuring a flow of fresh air. Bathrooms and kitchens, as high-risk areas for odor accumulation, require more thorough ventilation. As an additional measure, you can place several packets of activated charcoal or a container of baking soda in the room, which have absorbent and deodorizing properties. So, the secrets of combating the odor associated with aging and causing concern for many have been revealed. Careful adherence to hygiene procedures with an emphasis on 3 key aspects: maintaining water balance, insulation, eating enough fruits and vegetables, oral hygiene, regular washing of clothes and bedding, as well as airing the premises. These seemingly simple actions can bring tangible results. The problem of the specific body odor in the elderly is due not to negligence or uncleanliness, but to natural age-related changes in the body. However, the situation can be kept under control by making minor adjustments to lifestyle and daily habits. It is important not to allow body odor to become a cause of self-doubt, avoidance of communication, and alienation from loved ones.